Little bit, little the love, little the love, little bit, little the love, little bit, little bit, little the love, split with a little sabri, little bit, little the love, little bit. I see the stars. Little bit, little the love, little bit. Face off, little bit, little the love, little bit, little we see, little bit, little the love, little bit, little the sadra, little bit, little the love, little then sings my soul, little bit, little bit, little we, little bit, little the love, little say. Little bit, little the love, little way froza. Little bit, little the love, little way froza. Little bit, little bit, little bit, little the love, little froza. Little bit, little the love, little way.
Hey freaks, it's Wednesday, May 2nd, 2018. Coming up on the program today, which 80s cartoon character is fat-shaming our lovely presidential press secretary? Plus, calling out all the stupid bitches in the grocery store parking lot, bringing a ninja sword to a sock fight, and we can finally shit at church. All coming up today.
It's the Distorted View Show with Tim Henson.
The guy, he's in the dirty underwear or something. I don't know. He's sniff freak.
Yes, Tim Henson back here with you for the Wednesday show. Got a good one for you. At the top of the program, I want to discuss something with you that's kind of serious. As a parent of 12, I know how... Oh, you didn't know that I had 12 kids? I'm a quiverful. Hallelujah, God blessed us so hard with 12 constantly shitting, puking bundles of misery. My husband Dale jokes that God must have been ordering bagos when the angels asked how many kids we should be bestowed. Make it a dozen. And guess what? When you order 12, you get one free. I'm pregnant again! Praise be unto him. My point is, I am uniquely qualified to talk about child rearing. Child rears. Congratulations! If you're listening, you just heard Distorted View's first pedophilia joke of the day! Stay tuned, there's probably gonna be more.
Penetrating in infants.
Alright, let's get back on track here. The point I'm trying to make is it must be very difficult for children to have heroes in this day and age. You know, because of social media and just where we're at as a society. I remember growing up, you know, kids my age were like, I look up to Mr. T. He's my hero. You know, he's part of the A-team. He's always doing the right thing. He was a tough guy, don't get me wrong. He ain't pitying no fools, but also there was a soft side to Mr. T. He loved his mother. He didn't like when others talked badly about their mothers. He had a cool haircut, and he was obviously rich based on the amount and weight of the jewelry around his fucking neck. Our parents didn't have to worry about us getting on Twitter and reading an anti-Semitic tweet from Mr. T. They didn't have to explain what the words Holocaust denier meant. It's like, Mr. T, if you can pity the fool, find it in your heart to pity the Jews. They went through so much. If anyone deserves pity. Now you got kids growing up that are like, I want to be an actress, like that woman on Smallville. Oh, you mean the woman who was second in command of a child sex traffic ring / cult? I look up to Kanye West, the man who just said slavery was a choice. Thanks, TMZ, for that one. Maybe it's good that this is happening. We can teach our children that just because you look up to someone doesn't mean they're perfect. The world is not black and white. It's gray and gloomy. It's overcast with sadness, you know. So I grew up, like, you know, in the 80s, early 90s. Our cartoons featured characters who were, like, all good. There was no middle ground. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were all good all the time. Okay, Raphael was a little snarky, but that's a personality trait. The good guys were good, the bad guys were bad. It was pretty cut and dry. G.I. Joe, good guys. I'm thinking, and this might be $1 million idea, Hasbro, give me a call. Maybe cartoons should feature heroes who aren't entirely good, so kids can start to understand the complexities of life. Yeah, break their little spirits early, that's what I say. At least then they wouldn't be so heartbroken when they see some shitty vertically filmed YouTube video of the lead singer of Paramore hurling the N-word at the staff of a Waffle House at 3 a.m. because her goddamn hash browns were smothered, covered, but not chunked enough to her liking. Yeah, denigrate an entire people because your potatoes are missing their stupid cubed ham. You crazy fucking bitch! I don't even know if Paramore is still relevant. I heard a Paramore song on the radio today. To be honest, I don't even know if the lead singer of Paramore is a woman. I was wrong about the Silver Sun pickups, but that is neither here nor there. So look, there's He-Man, Transformers, Thundercats. They're all properties we can infuse some moral ambiguity into. Of course, the real reason these cartoons ever existed was to sell toys. Merchandise, baby! So I say, we start this experiment with Gem. Longtime freaks know I have a soft spot for this 80s cartoon. It's about a female singer. Right there. Singers are who kids look up to. They tend to be eccentric and not the best of role models. The commercials will tell a little story and tie them into brand new action figures. Pop superstar Gem just donated all the proceeds from her latest concert to help third world children with cleft palates. But what's this? Good evening, welcome to the 10 o'clock news. I'm Dash Sprintley. Tonight's top story, shocking news from the world of entertainment. Platinum recording artist Gem tweeted today that White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders has, quote, a lazy eye and the body shape of a linebacker suffering from scoliosis carved from mashed potatoes. Leading conservatives are calling for a nationwide Gem ban. Who's gonna get Gem out of this pickle? Introducing the members of Firesnap social media, Slit, Bug, and Trisha Chow Mein. Wow, these action figures are totally poseable. They head up Firesnap's crisis department, and they'll take over Gem's online presence and smooth things over with that wonky-eyed heifer Sarah Sanders. Trisha Chow Mein has slanty eyes. Slit drives around in a Tesla. These toys are outrageous. And if things get too out of control, they can call their friend Martin Scoville, an associate of the law firm Weissman, & Fletcher. Martin looks like my dad. Those litigious pricks at the White House will regret waging war with Gem. He's got an action briefcase. Slit, Bug, Trisha Chow Mein, and Martin Scoville action figures sold separately. Gem! I think we could teach our children some valuable lessons with these new toys. Moving on, I do have some audio I wanted to share with you. First up, I love confrontation when I'm not a part of it. People filming asshole cops or dudes flipping out, road rage incidents. The clip I have for you today, though, is just a whiny little cunt. He's a tattletale. We got a guy who is, he's in his car, right? But he's parked in front of the grocery store. Not in the parking lot, right? He's up against the store. Usually there's a bunch of those diagonal lines saying, do not park here. This is for, fire trucks if there's ever a fire. But people stop there all the time. If they're with an elderly person, they'll, pull up, park, let the elderly person out so they, don't have to walk all the way through the parking lot. Or they're waiting for someone who's in the store, and rather than, park in the parking spot, they pull up and wait for them to come out. It's not cool, I guess. It is kind of annoying when you have to drive around them. But I know, in strip malls and stuff, I've been known to do that. Because I'll be with Lord Douche or something, and I'll be at a Chinese restaurant in a strip mall, and there's no parking spots, right? So we're just going to pick up the food. So I pull up, and I stop, and Lord Douche gets out, runs out, gets the food, and comes back. It takes a minute, so, okay, you're not supposed to park there, but people do it all the time. I also park at the pregnant woman only spots. The new thing is, and this really pisses me off, even more so than the pregnant woman spot, right? Is the family spot. There are spots reserved. You have to have a family. I don't even know what that constitutes. Like, do you have to have a wife with you, or is it just a kid situation? Or do you have to have wife and kids with you? That is some straight-up bullshit. I justified parking in the pregnancy-only spot by saying, hey, it was your choice to get knocked up, bitch. I'm sorry, in my eyes, pregnancy is not a medical condition. You're like those careless fairies. You brought it on yourself. But this whole family thing, so now we've got the wife, the woman, she's got no excuse not to fucking walk, right? She's not pregnant anymore. She's fully abled. And you've got kids. You know, we've got an obesity problem here in the United States. Your fat kids need to go for a little walk. Let's start with crossing through the parking lot. So I have absolutely no problem parking in the family-only spot. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so the clip I have is this guy, he's in his car, waiting for someone probably at the grocery store. He's pulled up where he shouldn't be, and then this whiny little tattletale confronts him.
Yeah, you know there's a big parking lot right here, right? And you see it says...
Yeah, you could hear him, I think, at the beginning saying he's waiting for someone to come out.
Red zone. So if you're parked here and a car goes around and it hits a kid, you know whose fault that is? That's your fault. So I'm
Well, maybe cars shouldn't be speeding through the parking lot. You should always be careful when driving through a parking lot, whether there's lines or not. You know what I mean? Like, kids could dart out.
I'm asking you to move, please. I'm asking you to move, please.
Like, who are you? You're nobody. I don't have to listen to you.
This is going to be live streamed to YouTube, correct? I have a YouTube channel here. The cops watch it. They're going to send you a ticket in the mail.
Oh, isn't this guy just the worst?
I'm going to get your license plate number.
This dude has absolutely no friends. That's obviously why he live streams. So he gets the license plate number.
8931. I'm going to just stand here and mess with you until you move. You're a real son of a bitch, aren't you?
Well, now you're just name-calling. He really is just antagonizing the guy. I secretly think he wants to get into a physical altercation. That's why he's filming, you know, for the views.
I dare you to, punk. Oh. I dare you to hit me. I dare you to hit me. Go ahead.
Don't touch me.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Hit me.
Buddy.
Go ahead. Hit me. Go ahead.
Pretty close there.
Go ahead.
And then, because the driver got out of the car.
Go ahead.
Doesn't hit the guy, though.
I dare you to.
Instead, the guy gets back in his car.
Go ahead. I dare you to. You punk. What, you scared? You scared? Hey.
So now other people in the parking lot are pissed off at this guy. Like, this guy is not getting anyone on his side. Like, you have no life, dude. Messing with an old man.
Hey. No, I don't have to. He can't be parked here, man. So what?
You're not the law. Let someone else deal with it. Why do you gotta butt your fucking nose in this shit?
Man? So what? You getting in my business?
There are very few times where I've ever inserted myself into someone else's business. It's usually when I felt there was a great injustice. Because I'm a good person. Like when someone was bitching at a cashier. Like a Target or something. Little girl was on the verge of tears, so I had to come to her rescue.
My business, shut up. So you need to move, dude.
I'm like, hey, lady, what the fuck is your problem? Just pay for the... You know, this woman... I'm sure I've told this story because it still riles me up. These people who shop at Target, okay? This is not Barney's or Saks Fifth Avenue. This is fucking Target. It's a step up from Walmart, right? She goes to the snack area, and I don't know what I'm waiting for, some garbage food. Why, I'm goddamn 500 pounds. So I'm in line waiting for her to get me my popcorn or whatever. She's doing her work, this cashier. And there's a woman behind me who thinks she's too good to shop at Target, picks up a bag of Sun Chips or something, and just throws money on the counter and walks away. That's not how it works. You've got to pay. The woman's got to scan the fucking item and put the money in the cash register. So the cashier was like, hey, woman, lady, stop. And the woman was huffing and puffing and... I'm not waiting in line for a bag of Sun Chips. I know how much it costs. So I told her, bitch, get in line. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I said bitch at first, but I explained it. I'm like, she has to scan this. Just wait a second. And then she's all like, who are you? Mind your own business. And that's when I started swearing at her. And then she's like, my husband's here, and he's going to talk to you. And I said, good, I'll be waiting for him. He needs to know what a right cunt you are. And then as soon as I got my popcorn, I ran. Because there's no way that confrontation's going to go down in my favor. But I made my point. All right. So now other people in the parking lot are pissed off at the guy who's filming, because he's a whiny cunt.
Man, so what? You get in my business, shut up. So you need to move, dude. See, now you're trying to hit that car.
No one's trying to hit anything, right? The guy hasn't moved.
Yeah. You in their way?
Well, you're in our way.
Hey, why don't you shut the fuck up?
So now there's a woman in a truck who's saying that the dude who's filming is in everyone's way.
Hey, why don't you shut the fuck up, you dumb bitch?
Well, that escalated quickly with her.
Why don't you shut the fuck up? Why don't you shut the fuck up? Fucking idiot bitch.
Fuck you.
I'm getting your plate number 2.
You know what? She does have a point. He's way more in the way than the guy in the car. The guy in the car is, okay, he's parked where he shouldn't be, but he's still to the side, right? He's out of the way, not in the middle of a lane where people are driving.
Idiot bitch.
Fuck you.
Bitch. I do like the way he says bitch. You stupid bitch.
Fuck up. Why don't you shut the fuck up? Fucking idiot bitch.
Bitch.
I'm getting your plate number 2. CDT 51423.
To do what with?
And you shut the fuck up, you fat fuck.
Well.
Hey, you shut the fuck up too, fat fuck. Come here, you're on tape. What, motherfucker?
Well, now the fat fuck is walking towards this guy.
Do something?
And
you're on tape, you go to jail.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Come at me?
What up, dog?
What up, dude?
And that's where the video ends. Justice is served. Hey, before we get into the news, I did want to mention this. Recently on the podcast, we were talking about racist music, and I noted that a lot of it seems to be country. Makes sense, right? I did wonder out loud if there was any, rock music that was racist out there. Heavy metal, alternative, grunge, punk rock, something. And there's a lot, apparently. Danielle writes in, apparently a caller dialed into the voicemail line and mentioned one, but I couldn't understand what he was saying. He was talking about Screwdriver. Danielle tells me. Racist punk rock. Also, there's a band called Burzum, which is racist metal. And there's a band called Bully Boys, which is also rock. And I have a couple examples here of music from Bully Boys. This is Fire Up the Ovens. I think I know what this song is about. I heard Jew burns. Yeah. I know this is horrible music, but it's infinitely more listenable than the crappy country western racist music. If I didn't pay attention to the lyrics, I could probably get into this. Fire up the ovens! I do like the way he says ovens. Ovens. What did the Jews do again that was so bad? All right, you get the idea there. That's Fire Up the Oven. And what is this one? There's another one. Another song. This is called Jig Run. Obviously, they're singing about an Irish jig. Maybe going to a pub. All right, you get the idea. Well, I learned something today. There is such thing as racist rock, and it has a nice beat. They're on the right track. They just need to change their lyrics a little bit. Tweak that. I kind of sound like a supportive mother who, doesn't like the music, still trying to say nice things about her kid. You guys are getting good. Keep it up. You're on your way. Is that a triangle I heard? I like that. More triangle. All right, and with that, let's get into the crazy, bizarre, twisted up, fucked up news right now. Hey, freaks, if you like Distorted View Daily, I could sure use your help. Consider signing up for the sideshow, becoming a true and honorable freak. And when you do, you'll get full access to the entire archive of programs, thousands of shows for you to listen to. Plus, more importantly, every week we do exclusive shows just for paying members. Yesterday we did one. Tomorrow another exclusive show. Check it out, superfreaksideshow.com. Membership's very inexpensive. This is how I make my living. It's only $6.99 a month. It's even less when you opt for a quarterly, semi-annual, yearly, or lifetime membership. This really does help ensure that the show continues on for a long, long time. There are other ways to support this nonsense. Of course, you can go to patreon.com/distortedview, pledge a few dollars that way. If you're a complete broke-ass hoe, don't worry, there are still ways to help me. You can spread the distortion, tell your friends, family, members of your church congregation, whatever. Tell them all about Distorted View Daily. We do a bunch of free shows every week. They can check it out. Hopefully they'll like it and subscribe. That's the number one way I get new listeners, by the way. Word of mouth. Have you done your part to help ensure Distorted View Daily continues to grow? Kind of like a cancerous tumor that will one day contribute to your own death. Ting! All right, 3 quick stories, then we'll get the hell out of here. First up, look at this. We got a short one from our most fucked up state. Say it with me.
Shout out to Timmy Boo of DistortedView.com from Florida, our most fucked up state. Shout out to Timmy Boo, nigga.
Thank you. A Hudson, Florida man is behind bars after deputies say he attacked 2 people with a sword. Why, you ask? That's always the important part of the story. The why. Yeah, we know some Florida guy's gonna do some screwy shit. And actually, the use of a sword is pretty normal, at least by Florida standards. All right, but the why? Why did he do this? Well, he was angry over socks. Deputies were called to the home on Lauderdale Street Tuesday for the incident. According to an arrest report, 47-year-old Brandon McCrae started arguing with people inside of his home and accused several of them of stealing his socks. Now, I'm looking at the mugshot of this guy. I don't like the idea of borrowing anyone's socks, but someone as dirty and disheveled as this guy, there's no way in hell I would put his stinking fucking socks on my feet. I know he doesn't launder these properly. You know, I feel like he probably wears the same sock multiple times, probably just shoves them right back in his drawer. Gross! This is why I've got ringworm all over my body, probably. By the way, I still haven't figured that one out. Where's all you medical experts calling into the show? All you know-it-all assholes, Haley's comment. All right, give me an answer. The one time I need you. All right, where are we at here? According to an arrest report, 47-year-old Brandon McCrae started arguing with people inside of his home and accused several of them of stealing his socks. The report states McCrae threatened the people in the home, saying he would be back and they would be sorry. Well, look at this. Someone finally followed through with a threat. Deputy said McCrae then left the home and returned with a ninja sword. Like, where did he get that? There were probably better, more efficient weapons he could have picked. He went out and he bought a sword. Went to Karate Mart. All right, so he returned with a ninja sword, which he used to injure 2 people. One woman, identified as the suspect's ex-girlfriend, suffered a large and significant cut on her leg from the sword. Deputies say McCrae also swung the sword at a man's head and neck. Holy shit. That victim suffered injuries to his hands and arms. The arrest report states that the man also nearly lost several of his fingers. McCrae left the home after the attack and was taken into custody at a neighbor's house. He's facing charges of domestic aggravated battery with a deadly weapon and attempted murder. Both victims were taken to Regional Medical Center and expected to be okay. Even Florida news stories are written like they belong in Florida. Like, you know, if this was a real news story, they would say, like, both victims were taken to the hospital and are expected to recover. Or something like that. This was like, they done went to the doctor and they're gonna be okay. That man's fingers were dangling, but Dr. Dundee sewed them all up. They're fine. All right, second story we have for you today. A bishop has blessed a toilet at a medieval church after years of fed-up parishioners running out to the bushes. I mean, was this toilet possessed or something? Bishop of Chelmsford, Stephen Cottrell, was called in to bless the toilet by delighted parishioners who waited 850 years. For what? Plumbing? I don't understand what's going on here. Reverend Derek Clark paid for the 13-foot facility out of his own pocket because the lack of facilities had started hitting congregation numbers at his remote church. Okay, so there was no toilet at this church. And, you know, some of these services are long. The people at the church had to go run outside and piss. So they bought a toilet, right, an outhouse or something, and then the bishop came and blessed it. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Kind of. He now tows it down. Oh, so this is like a toilet on wheels. Okay, it's like a trailer. He now tows it down to medieval All Saints Church in Alting, Essex, twice a month with his tractor and says the loo was inspired by God. I understand you're a religious person, and I get that this is for a church. But not everything is inspired by God, anointed by God, blessed by God. Sometimes it's just a fucking toilet. It's just a receptacle to catch your turds, man. I know he's trying to make this about God so that all the people of the church will give a little money in the donation plate. He's going to get a few sermons out of this and hopefully recoup some of the money he spent on the toilet. Delighted Bishop Stephen said, I have blessed many things in my time, but this is a first for me. Granddad and semi-retired farmer Reverend Clark said, I suppose I've been caught myself there, and I know what it's like for people. Being a farmer, I've been to many agricultural shows, and I've seen these toilet blocks, and I thought, that's what we need. And I also put a kitchen in there. It's all one big room. By the way, the office where Lord Douche works, not the current place, but where he worked at before, was a small office, right? There was only like 10 people that worked in there at a time. And one year, they were having like a little Christmas party and invited me, right? And so I went there, and the boss wanted to put all the food up on the counter of the bathroom. And I also noticed that's where he stored like his coffee cups. His mugs. It's so disgusting. I mean, I get it's like a small office, but still, you shit there. And people do shit there. I've been in that office right after someone dropped a massive load, and the smell wafts through the entire place. And, like, I don't know, it fills the room in like 2 minutes after the shit happens. It's like flush, and then 30 seconds passes, and it wallops you in the face. All right, I'm sorry. I'm getting off topic here. It's not my idea. It's come from a greater power. That was the idea, to bring the toilet on wheels to this church. It wasn't my idea. It came to me from God. Like, no one could have possibly come up with that. We've got a church full of people sitting down in pews for like 2 hours. Never crossed my mind that someone might have to take a fucking piss. Thanks, God, for coming up with that one. All right, I don't know how it came into my mind. Again, because you had to go outside to piss or shit. All right, I don't know how it came into my mind. Also, people were probably begging him for a toilet or two. But it was put there by someone. He said, there are no public toilets in the village. There's no pub, no village hall. There's absolutely nothing. The unit has proved popular since it started being used at church services and events last year, but was officially opened with a blessing on Sunday. Crowds flocked to the cabin, but sadly the bishop couldn't have the first official flush as a mom and daughter popped in before the ribbon-cutting ceremony. More like a turd-cutting ceremony. Am I right? Yeah, bitch, I'm right. All right, the listed place of worship has lacked a toilet since it was built in 1150. Damn, that's old. With facilities not even added during a restoration in the Victorian times. The tiny hamlet of just 167 people lacks a village hall or even a pub, so this toilet is the first public facility it has. How is inbreeding not a problem in this tiny little village? I mean, talk about slim pickings. That's what I would be concerned with. Not so much where people are shitting and pissing, but where people are dropping their seeds. All right, final story we have for you today. I mean, there's always a lot of weird stuff going on with the president and our government. It's never quite distorted view worthy. This one might not be either, but I just have to talk about it because it is pretty strange. A letter from Donald Trump's New York physician released by his campaign in 2015 declaring that he would be, quote, the healthiest individual ever elected to the presidency was composed by the candidate himself, the doctor said. The doctor didn't write this report. Trump just said, here's what I want you to say. I'm in fantastic shape. I'm the healthiest person to ever run for president. He dictated that whole letter. I didn't write that letter, Harold Bornstein told CNN. Fake news. Bornstein, whatever, was not immediately available to comment, but in a subsequent interview with NBC News, also fake, he confirmed the account. The White House didn't immediately respond to a request for comment from Reuters. Quote, Mr. Trump has had a recent complete medical examination that showed only positive results, said the letter, signed by Bornstein, who said he treated Trump since 1980. Actually, his blood pressure, 110/65, and lab results were astonishingly excellent. His physical strength and stamina are extraordinary, the letter said. It's so funny now, knowing that these are the president's words. This is what he's saying about himself. His physical strength and stamina are extraordinary. This is like what dictators do, right? I'm not saying that Trump has that type of power, but it's funny. Like, this is something Kim Jong-un would do. Remember in North Korea, they would say, like, Kim Jong-un hasn't had to take a bowel movement in 20 years. Or, whatever. Like, he has that much control over his body. Kim Jong-un has so much energy, he doesn't sleep. He literally does not go to sleep. That's the type of shit that Kim Jong-un says over there in North Korea. All right, his physical strength and stamina are extraordinary. If elected, Mr. Trump, I can say unequivocally, I being Donald Trump, I can state unequivocally will be the healthiest individual ever elected to the presidency. Bornstein told NBC News the characterization of healthiest was black humor. What does that mean? Trump read out the text as Bornstein and his wife were driving across Central Park, the driver told CNN. The campaign released the letter in December of 2015. Quote, Trump dictated the letter, and I would tell him what he couldn't put in there. Bornstein previously said he had written the letter in a rush while seeing other patients. His latest version of the letter's origin follows his accusation that Trump's ex-bodyguard, Keith Schiller, raided his office while retrieving Trump's medical records after he was elected president. White House spokeswoman Sarah Sanders, that old hog, said that the records were retrieved as part of standard operating procedure. Okay. I don't know. I don't know enough about the government to know. Like, is that something that happens typically? Like, after the president is elected, they get people to raid their doctor's office to steal the medical records? As is standard operating procedure for a new president, the White House medical unit took possession of the president's medical record, she said. So maybe the doctor was just being dramatic. There wasn't a raid. Maybe they just requested these documents. We're here to pick up the president's medical records. Everyone's so dramatic. Asked if the operation was a raid, she said, no, that's not my understanding. That's not exactly a firm denial. That's like, I don't think so. No one said anything to me about that. All right, there you go. There's your Daily Trump. That, my friends, is your Distorted News for Wednesday. Let's do a couple voicemails and get the hell out of here. All right, I love to hear from you, freaks. 206-666-4463. That's our voicemail line. You can call in anytime. I will play. I play all of the calls, unless you call in like 5 times in a row or something. But yeah, I have no problem playing whatever it is you have to say. We've got a special line for patrons. You pledge a few dollars over there at patreon.com/distortedview. I can't remember if it's Distorted View or Distorted View Show. I'm pretty sure it's Distorted View. You pledge a few dollars, you get access to a special voicemail line. I will play those calls first. I'm usually like a week or 2 or 3 or 4 behind on these voicemails. Other ways to contact me, of course, show@distortedview.com. That's my email address. I'm on social media, @DistortedView on Twitter and Instagram, and Facebook.com/DistortedView Show. Let's check in with a few of my freaks. Not our freaks. They're mine. Greedy little bitch.
Hey, what's up, Tim? This is Dave CM. I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but I think I'm your only actual Italian listener. Which is really
Well,
weird.
you don't sound Italian. You sound British.
I think I'm your only actual Italian
Don't try to trick me. I'm really good at accents.
Which is really weird. But I try and talk to my mates about the show, but yeah, talking about it and all translating it into words that make any sense sometimes. Like, saying a comfort is a little bit weird.
Really? Comfort is hard to explain in your language? Like, whatever the word is for cum in Italian, followed by the word for butthole, I mean, you should be able to piece that together. Are your friends idiots or something?
But you were talking about YouTube and you're not putting your stuff up there, this and that.
Yeah.
I remember years ago, and I've been listening to the show for probably about 9 years now, about to be 10. I've been psyched to remember the whole time.
Oh, good boy.
We used to do Morning Sickness, and me and some mates of mine from Great Britain, we would listen to that show. We'd run all of them. There's only about 10, I think.
No.
But we would play those things over and over, and they were fucking great.
You were the only ones watching.
Make some more stuff like this, or just...
There's probably I don't know, maybe 50 episodes of Morning Sickness, maybe 100. Maybe not that many, but yeah, there's more than 10. Go to youtube.com/DistortedView Show. You can watch all those. They're still up there.
So, like a clip together, kind of supercut, like 3 or 4 minutes, just highlighting best bits of some of your free shows.
Yeah, well, I have been teasing new videos, and, I promise that we will get to that.
Just to get...
There's never enough time!
Was it more just views and more people actually getting into the show, because YouTube is such a big thing.
I know. I need to get in on that. I feel like I'm a few years, possibly a decade behind on that.
Yeah, hopefully you do.
That whole YouTube
more
trend.
Content we can just watch and listen to. Hey,
yeah.
Cheers, man. Thanks for all the shows.
Aw, thank you so much. Yeah, we will be doing more video content. I would love to bring Morning Sickness back. It does take a lot of work, believe it or not. That stupid show. And I think that was one of the things we were going to do with the Patreon, right? If I reached a certain amount of money per month, I'd bring back Morning Sickness. Well, we never reached that amount. I don't remember how much it was supposed to be, like $1,000 or $1,500 or something. I guess the challenge still stands. If we can raise that money a month, I'll bring Morning Sickness back, sure. All right, let's do... another call here. I'm sorry, this guy called in twice. I was trying to pick out the correct call.
Jimmy Boo, this is Sideshow member White Guy with Guitar.
Hey.
And I have been listening back...
Are you good with the guitar? Maybe you should call in and sing for me.
White Guy with Guitar. And I have been listening...
Remember when I was trying to learn how to play guitar, and I got on the show here, and I started playing Old Susanna for you? That's about as far as I got.
Guitar. And I have been listening back to your entire archive because I feel like I should digest every episode of Distorted View.
That's dangerous.
Accessible to human beings.
That's how we make a serial killer.
But back in the day, you openly imbibed on marijuana, and I'm curious as to what your usage is now.
Oh, I don't.
So please let us listeners know.
It's been, 10, 11 years. I'm not against it. I just, I don't leave the house. Where the hell am I going to get access to that shit? This is Ohio. Is it legal in Kentucky? Because I'm really close to Kentucky. I need to look up the laws on that. That might just give me the creative juice to start doing those videos. And maybe leave the house. Might work, might help with my anxiety. Or it might make me want to just stay inside and watch Netflix. And eat cheese puffs. All right, that is all the time we have on this edition of the show. Want you guys to email me, show@distortedview.com. Distortedview.com is our official website. Voicemail line for you, 206-666-4463. That's 206-660-GOD. Is it God?
Fucking idiot bitch.
Spread the distortion, STD. Tell all your friends about the podcast. Don't forget to rate us and review us on iTunes. Remember, tomorrow's show is Sideshow exclusive. So it's a great time to sign up so you can listen. Otherwise, I'll be back on Friday to end the week. Until then, have a great day. Bye, everybody!
Mother, there is no other. treat her right. M is for the moan and the miserable groan from the pain that she felt when I was alone. O is for the oven with the burning heat, where she stood making sure I had something to eat. T is for the time that she stayed up at night and took my temperature when I wasn't feeling right. H is for the hard-earned money she spent to keep clothes on my back and try to pay the rent. E is every wrinkle I put on her face and every worry that I caused when I stayed out late. The last letter R is that she taught me respect, and for the room up in heaven that I know she'll get. Mother, there is no other like mother, so treat her right. Mother, I'll always love her. My mother, so treat her right, treat her right. Treat her right, treat your mother right.
Hell, you can shove anything up the rectum.